Alright, hello everyone, welcome to number 4 of the Alpha devlog. Hi dude, let's do this. Let's destroy some code and cause a lot of issues. Alright, hello everyone, welcome to Why is this loud? Alpha devlog. Hi dude. Right. My stream was on my phone as well to check. And I got really scared because I started talking to myself over the stream. Yo, nice to see you here. How are you doing? I've just brought good news to the dudes earlier on that we can use your tent configuration. Right. Today we actually have a battle plan. There's a couple of things we want to do. We want to fix some issues, and once these issues are fixed, we want to go into the crafting again, I think. Adding some funny recipes for crafting. That should be fun. Love this place here. So, let's dig into the code. First thing on the list is... let's check why helis spawn that often. That's a little bit weird. There should not be that many helis. So last stream we figured out that something's wrong. Or at least I figured out something's wrong with the helis. I'm not sure if everyone noticed, but something is off there. The helis is the first side feature we've added to the mod. Yeah, it's a nice mod, yo, I know. It's awesome. Whenever we get a map server up, people will know where to find my camp. It will always be up here. So we should only have 11 crash sites spawned. VAHC count. However, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Maybe even double. So that's way too many spawns. Where's my stuff? I'm really proud of the new structure I've given the mod. The whole structure was a huge mess until version 3.0. I'm a little bit proud. I'm a very messy person, so it takes a lot for me to get structured. Right. So this is actually the initialization, and it tells how many spawns should be kicked off. Let me know if the music's too loud, by the way. It should be, yeah, it should be. So that looks alright. Until script done. That should be alright. And this is the position checker. try something else. Thank you. I put it a bit louder than last time, but then I assumed last time's music was fine. I hope it's better now. Let's just spawn one site. Test, blah blah blah. Right. That's funny. Oh, okay. I have an idea. Maybe helicopters that spawn in and... No, that doesn't make sense. I was just wondering if maybe helicopters spawn in and get destroyed for some reason, and because the wreck gets destroyed, the script knows it needs to respawn a new script. Sorry, a new heli. Hey Sasa, good to see you again. Good evening. And it just keeps spawning new helis because the old ones get destroyed for whatever reason. And it doesn't despawn the marker. Where could that heli be? Here? Here? No, it's here. Can't wait to have that on a live server. It's always a great thing in DayZ when you ran into a smoke pillar. It's possible sure spawning hell into a tree or something. Yeah, it shouldn't be destroyed because it's an object and its damage is turned off. So, but it is an option. There's something. I'll need to tune the loot, the filler for this loot box a little bit. It's very randomized, which is alright, but I think it needs some, just to make sure that it works as intended. For a while I was considering to spawn stuff lying around, around the heli, but I think in order to avoid unnecessary performance issues, you know, leaving ground weapon holder with items in it around on the server might be a bit unnecessary. So I figured you just search the heli, you pull out a one of these equipment boxes, and you see what's in there. Yeah, and it's not about loot balancing. It's actually about how the scripts work, because the script that works, the script that fills this box is a bit old, and I think I need to review it. Okay, let's try again. With more helis. Afterwards we'll check all the spawned helis to see, all the markers to see if there's an actual heli wreck there. Just to understand if really, if it's not just a marker that remained there. Oh, I actually think I have not connected the marker to the heli deletion. Good point. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. No, nothing else should spawn. Oh! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The fuck? It seems to be alright. Am I imagining issues here? What's the problem here? Fix time. Oh. Oh, okay. Alright. It's not a bug, but I intended to have... So there is an option that you can turn off the heli despawn. If you turn that off, then helis will spawn until mission or server restart. And if you turn on the heli despawn, like the heli dynamic de and respawn, then the helis will disappear after a while and spawn new, sort of like Daisy. So, and I did actually not. Is James Redux using Liviona structures? The dude, that's a question for you. So actually the issues with the helis was that I did not properly implement the optional respawn system. So I enable debug, heli count, heli spread, respawn enable. By default it's false. So if the helis are not supposed to despawn, the script will exit now. So that was the problem. But that's a good hint, because that means that the markers are not properly deleted. Delete marker. Where's my marker at? Where's my marker at? Right. Then we need to find and remove the marker from the marker array. This marker here stores the placed heli crash sites, and it will allow us to make sure that other helis do not spawn near it, and that we can also later on detect or show markers to survivors. Good. That was probably a quick fix. So in order to test that, actually, yeah, you see there's another heli spawn now, so it will... The thing how it works is if you have the dynamic heli spawning on, that means that the helis will despawn and respawn again on a new location after some time. Yeah, so after 200 seconds plus a random number between 0 and 200 seconds, the helis will despawn. So we need to put that much higher by default, and we need to disable. Good. Let's actually... Right, let's not recompile the mod, let's try to fix another issue first. Well, that was easy. So EO, you're creating furniture compositions for Liviona buildings. They can then be spawned in. That's kind of cool. I think that whole system in Ravage where buildings get filled up with objects is kind of cool, especially for all the ArmA maps with empty buildings. I mean, I think especially like for a survival mission, it's just not cool if buildings are completely empty. So I'm really looking forward to see those compositions. That's going to be cool. Yeah, great. I should probably turn up my WhatsApp. Sorry for that. Someone messaged me. Right. Stage. Telecrash. Spawn. Amount. No. Despawn. Script can now be disabled. Gut. I will not go into I will not redo the loot box filler now because that's a general topic. So I'm going to go for the next bug, the fix the chopping sound, because let's procrastinate. Is that the right word? Procrastinate? Yeah. The water cells interaction, because I don't know. I'm annoyed by it. Let's look into chopping. Player, add item, VA3.0. Well, I sure hope there will be an end of the world vibe in it. Nice. Why? Not sure if I understand what dynamic heli spawn is. If you set heli crash sites to 10, why would it spawn more? Right, so it should not. So first, the dynamic heli spawn is basically start of the mission, 10 helis spawn. After a certain amount of time, the helis despawn and spawn in a new location. So they will not just stay there. It makes the mission a bit more dynamic, especially for, I guess, for single player missions that go on forever. You had that in DayZ, for example, where you would, in DayZ the thing was that there were pre-made helicrash sites, spawn spots, and during a server uptime time they would probably change position every 30 minutes. I personally, on a server, I would prefer to have a one-off spawn and respawn them every server restart, but I'll leave that up to the mission makers. So that's the dynamic version. The static version is where the helis get spawned in, and at mission or server restart they will spawn in fresh, so they will just stay there, and if they're looted, they're looted. Yo, Valmont, hi, good to see you. Then here the problem was that the code that would exclude the dynamic spawning. So in the spawner, in the end, there's a script that will despawn and respawn the helis. I just put it in there without a code of line that says, alright, if the player in the settings turns off the spawning, the despawning, the code gets skipped. So it, even if you, let me show you. Even if you, this is the helicopter crash site settings, and here we can turn on if we want to the helis to despawn and respawn, or if we want it to just stay static. And even if you turn that off or on, it doesn't react because the code wasn't in there. If it's dynamic or if it's static, it will always be only these 10 helis that spawn. So it's you can imagine that there's one spawner and it will be executed 10 times. For each, it waits for the despawner and until no player is close, so it doesn't disappear in front of players. And after the despawn time has ended, it will respawn again. So each of those 10 instances of the script will start again. So this way, there will only be 10 helis, or whatever number you define here. Yeah. And it was a simple, stupid coding issue. So we're looking at, let's close this. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Thanks for asking. If I'm talking nonsense, please let me know, or if it's not clear. What did I want to do? Right. This, by the way, there's this we call it the living feature, and it includes all the features that deal with the survival aspect of the mod. I like the on-screen vital stats. Are those new? Yeah, yo. We're actually, I'm saying I'm sure the dude agrees. It was quite important to us that all the scripts that run in the background, that they're visible to the player, like bleeding, temperature. Can you see my mouse? I guess you cannot see my mouse in game. So basically, top left is the temperature, and it shows you the water drops that are equal to how wet you are. If you're dry, humid, or soaking wet, it will have an effect on certain things of the survival system. Then from the right to left, you have the health. You have food, like nutrition. Nutrition will decrease, and the white circle will, decrease. Then we have hydration, and we have your blood level, which is separate from health. It's at 100% now. If you get hurt and start bleeding. Oh, you can see the mouse. Okay, great. Also in game then. Oh yeah, now I see it. It basically shows the 100% blood level. If you start bleeding because you get hit, it will be reduced, and you will see a let me add something. You will see some notification. We just add a zombie. No, actually, let's add these. No, stupid. So long story short, yes, the HUD is new, and we're quite excited about it, I'd say. There's actually a little bit more to it even. This is why I want to spawn a zombie. There's also an indicator for bleeding that I will quickly show you, and there's an indicator for an infection, like a zombie infection. And then there is another indicator that you cannot see right now, that is the food poisoning and bacteria infection that you get from eating bad food or drinking dirty water. So let's pop on a zombie. That reminds me that I'm pretty sure that the zombie infection can currently not be turned off. Right, where are the zombies again? Shit. Ah, they're not in Zeus. Let's cheat. Bleeding, I believe. True. Yeah. So I'm bleeding now. Let's assume someone has hit me, and now that arrow here shows me that I'm losing blood, and over time that circle will, will be reduced. If I get hit by a zombie, I get this symbol that indicates that I have a zombie infection. If I'm eating bad food or drinking bad water, I get the bacteria icon here, and they will, all these illnesses will have an effect on my health. Low blood levels will drain my hydration quicker, and low blood levels will also start to tick damage. Infection will continuously tick damage, and bacteria or food poisoning will make me puke randomly, and it will make that my hydration loss and hunger loss is generally ticking quicker. Hydration and food are also ticking depending on how active you are, for example running and so on. Now, now I'm puking and I lost some hydration and nutrition. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, I had the same thing. I only wanted to work with emotes and people should figure stuff out by themselves, but I realized on the current Steam version, people don't know what's going on. I mean, and I understand, like, I've put together that stuff, I know what can happen, but it's really hard to figure stuff out if you have no indication. So you have the HUD, and I mean, in the end, maybe you can even turn the HUD optionally if you want to play really hardcore. Right. And yeah, I really like the type and the design of the icons. You need indicators to know what's going on. You get lost very quickly with all the effects. Yeah, absolutely. So the dude and I have spent a lot of time with the whole survival system over the past year, and it just got clear to us that we need to add it. And I think the way we do it with that style, the black white, I really like how it fits to the mod's logo as well. It's very simplistic. That's pretty cool. To the left you also have the earplug indicator. You can press the hotkey and you put your earplugs in. I'm not sure, dude, if you agreed that we should change that again to a different logo. I think you did, I'm not sure. You have the George Floros weapon holster function that we might be replacing with Belmont's, because it has quite some advantages. Belmont, by the way, thanks again for the script. I was not able to look into it today, but I definitely will. I figured I want to do some more streaming today because actually it's kind of fun. Probably a little bit less productive than when I code alone, but it's a little bit more fun, and the input is actually quite cool. Yesterday with the recipes, all the ideas was kind of cool. Oh, it will be okay. So you are working on it, right? Cool. Very minimalistic hut. Yeah, that's what we thought as well. It's kind of cool. Right. Let's do the scavenging. The wood chopping, we're having an issue with sound sometimes. So some of the older scripts have a bad sound script, where sound doesn't interrupt properly. At the moment, we still work a lot with sounds, emotes, and huts because we you know, accessing animations is a bit harder. The dude has provided us with a drinking and eating animation. I think you're working on a puking animation, if I remember correctly. So there's stuff in progress, but it's definitely tricky. It's also tricky to properly implement it then. So the transition between animations is right, and the player moves into the right states again. The wood chopping, the problem is that the sounds will not stop. Oh yeah, you're right. What's going on there? Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Valmont, I think the best will be whenever I get to it and I'll look into it. I think it will be best if we sit together and you, the dude, and I go through it and you know, figure things out and discuss where we could add it. Dude, I think I accidentally removed the cam shake. Hi Neo, I'm not sure if I'm reading this right. Welcome to the stream. When will it be released? I don't know, it's hard to say. I think something that's going to come up is sort of open alpha events where we might open the server to, I don't know, up to 20 people or 10 people. So we can test the mod together live on, you know, on a stream and have some fun times. And we see from there. The thing is that a lot of features are not yet implemented that we want to add. So releasing it now would be too early. I just few days ago I added the helicrash site script, which was an old script from the Steam version of the mod, where I expected very little issues, and even that one was a little buggy. So it's when I started to redo this overhaul version 3 of it, the dude and I really agreed that we want to do a lot of testing on live dedicated servers, and you know, to make sure that we can release something proper. Because I'm not happy with the current Steam version of the mod. I think it's broken in a lot of ways, and I want to avoid that when I release this mod on Steam, even in a beta phase, that it's quite polished. So, long answer, short summary is I don't know yet, but I'm expecting that rather soon there will be playable versions for people that are interested in the alpha. Sort of like early access. It's like we haven't had enough early access survival stuff. You scripters have all the fun. Yeah, fun times. Oh, so you're leaving. All right. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah, man, if you know how to change the looks of scope in a Stalker game, you know more than I do. Right. Okay, so let's add the shake effect. I must have overwritten it by accident. this script package here. Yeah, I know. All right, sure, yo. It was cool to have you here. Would be nice if you. I'm not sure if you're on the Discord, but it would be cool to have your brains on the project sometime whenever you feel like it. So you're more than welcome. And good luck with your compositions. We're all eager to see what's going to happen with that project. Oh, right. That is garbage. Um, job sounds. Job sound. The thing with sounds is that you need to make sure you start it in the right time and you interrupt it in the right time. And when you have some like hold actions where you, while you press something, you want repeated sound played, you also need to make sure that when you interrupt your action, that the sound gets disabled. Job play. So we define, or this is our condition. If that is set to false, then we know the chopping sound is not playing. Um, yeah. If chop sound. And then it plays the sound. If when it starts to play the sound, it will put that condition to true. So then in the next iteration, here we are in the hold action, and this is the part that plays every time the hold action ticks. So if the hold action ticks another time before the sound has ended, it will just skip the sound playing. Yeah, the problem, yes, Ramon, the sound is a vehicle, so you can delete it with the delete vehicle. The problem is it's not really deleted. So I'm working with that solution. I can show you the script afterwards, but it's even if using terminate script and delete vehicle, like if I create a vehicle, attach the sound to that, it will interrupt the sound properly. But in some situations, if you then have a loop and you will start the sound again, it multiplies. Sound per tick. Why not use sound per tick? Well, I'm doing that, or unless you have a better method. But what I'm doing is like every tick I initiate the sound, unless the sound from the previous tick is still playing, to avoid like multiple sound playing at the same time. Because it's tricky to, if the sound would play for exactly the same period of time than the tick is, then that would work, but usually that's not the case. That's what we're doing here. But we're ticking, then it hits. We're ticking, then it hits. But sometimes the tick is a little longer than the hit, and that gets really messed up. So it's better to block sound from playing. It's too much, too long. It depends. Sometimes, yeah. I think it also depends how long the action is. Let's try this one now. test something. We're creating a how do you call it? We're creating a space of code. It's the wrong term, but who cares? And we're looping it, so the script will tell the sound to play like every frame, and the script should actually stop that. So if my script works, then it will sound nice. If it doesn't work, then it will sound really, really terrible. Do this. Right, okay, that works. Maybe we can delay it a little bit more. Yeah, I guess what you're writing is another. It's not a method to gate it, but I think it also works within the loop with a with the condition. Let me see. Can actually compare it to other geometry. I need to check how long the sounds are. I thought the sounds are actually just single hits. Then if you time the ticks correctly. Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea how it changed. It was fine indeed. I think I probably changed the. I'm using variables that are not local, so that might be a problem here. So I need to at least make variables very specific to this. Let me quickly check the sounds. Okay, each of that sound is a separate sound. I should have given the script a name that I can terminate. Stupid respawns. Nah, I think it's. I have new sound scripts anyway, so it was time to review it anyway. Two. Right, that's really weird. What did I call it? Shit. So ripped. Okay, that's confusing. Ah, the loop still runs. Ah, this is annoying. Let me quickly check. Where did I do that last? I think with drinking. I should be able to just use the drinking sound. Ah, silly waste of time. It's ripped. Oops. Right, this time I work with the delete vehicle. Valmont, can you put the solution that you propose into a basic hold actions scenario? I'm not sure if I understand how you would apply that, but I would be interested to see. So imagine that the hold action runs and it needs to run as long as the hold action is progressed, but it needs to stop when the hold action is interrupted or when it's ended, when it's completed. So if you could make a very simple example like of your solution, I'd be interested. Right, let me think. If drink sounds is false. Sound false. Oh yeah, please drop it to Discord so we can read it better. Random. I always need to create another. How do you call that? Like the script space. Namespace. No. Script instance. Whatever. Because you cannot suspend scripts call it within the debug, so you always have to spawn whatever you try to test. What should do? You always have to wrap your code into something like this. Do blah blah blah. And oops. Yes, I'm a very silly person. Sometimes it would take me so much less time if I would properly read what I'm writing. Ah. Somehow not using the terminate script correctly in some circumstances, some scenarios. I want to try something, but it seems to work. I had the impression that some sounds sounded double. I'm just using one sound now. Nice. Okay, that seems to work. Dum da dum da da. Go away. Of course, we don't need a loop now. Sound false, we need that further up. It should only be defined once. So my condition here is known. Now it will tick. We could attach it to the tree, yeah. Tree post, get post tree. We could, currently it's in front of the player, but we could actually spawn the source on the tree, like at the tree. Ah. Let's keep it local. So get post tree. Tree post is a position ATL tree. And we create a position which is tree pos, select 0, tree pos select 1 for the x and y axis, and z will be 0.5. So just a little bit above the ground. Coffee time, that's a good idea. Player, remove, action. It's good to name stuff so you can target it if you work like that. Yeah, I was wondering if that works. Oh, yeah, that cannot work. Sunspawn. If anyone has any questions with regards to what I'm doing, you know, in order to understand some of the coding stuff, let me know. I'm happy to explain. Might not be able to do it properly and might confuse you more than anything, but happy to at least try. Why? Type bool, expect object. Okay, there might be an issue with that tree. Oh, I'm stupid. Obviously it doesn't know this position in that external script. Oh no, it should know it. Oh, there is no. No, I'm stupid. When I'm not the script. Okay, this is a bit debug issue now. The script doesn't. I'm supposed to look at the tree when I'm doing this, and since I'm not looking at the tree at the moment, this won't work. However, I can just look at the tree and try it again. Okay, funny. Maybe I'm still doing something wrong here. Let's remove the old action. Let's re-add it again. Right. What's going on here? Oops. Oh, I think I found the mistake. No, it's okay. Oh. Don't need so many seconds. 0.5. And I need to spawn that because else it's breaking my... It's breaking the hand hold action spawn. It seems. Yeah, that's pretty fucked. Right. Oh god. Issues, issues, issues. I'm probably doing something weird. Make sure to drink, guys. Stay hydrated. It's important. Why? What the hell? Why is this not working? I don't know, man. Shut up already, stupid thing. Trying something. Right. So the water version works. Let's compare. I will not spend too much time on it, yeah, but I want to check out something. But it's stupid because I already have working versions of it, so I'm a bit confused why it wouldn't work. try something. Let's just replace it. What the fuck? Why is there even choppies? What the hell? Oh! Oh, okay. Right. That might be a problem. There's an additional sound when the X breaks, and there's probably not a right exit from the... Even my character is sick of wood chopping bug, yeah. That's coding for you. Can get a little bit boring. I think I might have found the issue. Okay. Alright. It's fixed. And that means celebrations. Alright, let's keep it short. One has to celebrate the small victories. Right, okay. Found the issue. I should really work on my blend over into the celebration phase. So there was a bad exit of the hold action. If my X breaks, it does not properly exit the the whole action. Yeah. I need to invest some time in custom YouTube chat emotes. Right, okay. Good. So one issue fixed, the other issue is, that's a bit too long, let's do 1 second. We're actually not properly exiting the script. While you're dealing with sounds, attach the sound source to tree in woodchopping script and attach sound to player for the magazine repack. Aye, let's do that. I love this song, man. Alright, just trying the new version then. I should probably be in the game if I tried it. Undefined variable, yes, of course it's undefined. I'm a silly person. I tell you guys, the moment I finally understood how that params shit works, it was heaven sent. I was so limited before I understood that. Sometimes it's just worth to dig into theory and read up stuff, even if it's boring. But sometimes it's actually really hard to understand these things if you have not just started with it. You do need to refresh your playlist. No, it's my music. Let's do something else, yeah. No, let's do this. No, that's depressing. Let's do this. No, we had that. No, that's depressing. Let's do this. Action music. Reading stuff is pretty educational, yeah. Yeah, one can make such a bold statement indeed. Let's eat some healthy nuts. That's also a good thing. Who's still in the chat, by the way? I only see the people that are actively typing stuff. I never knew that about YouTube streaming, that you see that there are like viewers in there, but you don't see who. You guys are lurking. a bit tricky to test if that works, but no, actually there's a way. Yeah, it worked. So the sound source is on the tree. Wait, is it not updating? I believe I've disabled that bug, I fixed that bug where you could chop down trees, but it doesn't. Wait. I think that's even the case in the old version. Yeah. This is the old version again, by the way. Yeah. But let's see if we can, if we do not interrupt, if we can still proceed to chop it. No, seems okay. Let's just leave it like that. And I want to test it live because it's a bit better. Extra, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so this line basically won't let it get any wood if the cursor object is destroyed. No, wait, this is getting wood if the cursor object is destroyed. And it the whole action is not showing if the cursor object is destroyed. I need to, I think I found another issue. I'm not properly removing the ideas. Or am I? currently looking at the resetter. Under what conditions and what happens if the conditions are no longer met that the chopping hold action should be shown. So far it seems that I've been deleting it within the hold action, so whenever the hold action is interrupted or a certain condition is met, it gets deleted, but actually it's centrally managed, so I just need to let the general scavenging script know that it should interrupt all the scripts. It's possible. No, it's not possible because that is tree chopping and scavenging has the safety solution now where this can no longer be happening. Can it? Yeah, it cannot happen. The fix for scavenging also affects the chopping and apple gathering. Yeah. Good point, but it cannot happen anymore. No, it's the same problem. In the old system before the fix, furniture checks, scavenging of general scavenging, the wood chopping and the the apple gathering are part of the same check, and this check is now fixed that it will no longer show duplicated. Roughly 1 second. So I was able to fix it. The problem was that there was a second sound source playing. So, once again, a silly mistake. Right. Line intersect is in our cases better than cursor object because it will also allow you to detect buildings that are to detect objects that are part of map buildings. So, for example, furniture in buildings is I can actually show you. is a proxy object. That's the term for it. Not that I understand it, but Yuki and the dude told me that that's basically the term for it. And that object is shown like this. So A, it doesn't have a unique identifier, and if you check this, the item is actually not here. So that metal crate is not here. So when you use cursor objects and interaction, you would take your cursor object and filter out any object that is not within reach. So you would, yo, Johnny. Yeah, man, all the veterans, the old guys are well, not old, but like the old forum guys are here. Good to see you, man. How are you doing? EO was just here as well. Valmont is here. The dude is here. Awesome. It can be recognized by virtual object, but as you can see here, the distance. It's two topics. So one is the ones that cannot be shown, where it's just sort of the same object and the building. That's one problem. I cannot detect that either with the line intersect code. But the objects, the furniture that is proximate into the building, they can be detected by cursor object, but the result is there's this no ID metal crate as a object name, which is a bit, it's a problem. I can get into that later again. And the distance to the cursor object is 7k or 11k, so it's stored, the object itself is stored somewhere else. So when you want to interact with cursor objects, you need to restrict it to a certain range, else you can look at the cursor object, I don't know, a kilometer away, and you'd be able to take it, and you don't want that, right? And because of that, all the script kit is here. Yeah, this is awesome. And like some of the coolest script kitties I know with you know, like people that do really cool stuff. That's amazing. Oh, actually, Johnny, you might be the guy for that. We have some issues with animations. Actually, the dude has issues with animations because I'm so far away from knowing stuff about animations that I'm not even aware what problems we have. But I think, dude, Johnny might be a good source for animations discussions or questions. Johnny, we're trying to implement some custom animations and we have trouble implementing the transitions right and configuring them right. If maybe dude, you take over, but I think Johnny might have quite some experience with that stuff. And I wanted to, Wellmont, if we're at it, I wanted to show you how line intersect with can help us with that. So right, so what cursor object returns is clear, right? What also is to mention, this, it will return the model name, but if you look at an object that is not proxied, it will give the model, it will create a unique object identifier, right? It will take the model name. This is for all these walls, it's the same, but it will add a unique identifier number. And that we also need later on, because after we've looted something, this specific object with that number will be blacklisted because it's already looted. With proxy objects, if we blacklist that object, no ID metal crate will be blacklisted. So this metal crate is blacklisted, but also this here, because it will have exactly the same unique identifier, as in it's not unique. So second problem with cursor object. And then when we look at line intersect, it will give you all the objects that intersect with a laser beam that's shot from your A position. You can configure that. For me, it's my I position to something in front of me, and that is 3 meters away. That's like the maximum distance this beam goes, and everything that's in that beam, every surface that beam hits, will be returned as an object. And there's a list of objects, and always the last object is the one that is closest. So in the further code we get that last object and work with it. Actually I was bullshitting. So proxy objects, if you detect them with cursor objects, they have no unique identifier, but also with that line intersect with option, as you can see here. So actually the workaround there was to, when we work with that, you can see here I'm detecting all the objects that are in front of me. I'm not sure if you can see it. The dude have no idea what he's doing. It's also a starting point for a question, right? So Johnny boy, I think let's generalize the question. We're a bit lost with animations, and if you ever find the time to help us a little bit with that, and maybe the same goes to Valmont as well, because I think you also dabbled a little bit in animations. We could use some insights. Yeah. Okay, Valmont. So if you look at this line, it will return the array of all the objects that I'm looking at, simply speaking. If there is an object, so if that array is not empty, it will proceed. What we're doing then is we define our target object that we want to loot. We get it with this code. It's basically saying we get the last object in that array because the last one is the closest one. That's just how the array is generated. What did I do here? Then I get the model. That's just for me. I need to know what type of model the target is in order to see if it's within my loot list. And and now because of that no ID, this guard target has no unique identifier, so it will be no ID something something. In order to get a unique identifier, what did I do actually? I took the object and I just generated a custom name for it. So basically I said, alright, I want to create an ID for it, which is just the no ID name of the target plus its position ATL, and that together gives it a unique identifier that I can use then to block that item from being looted again, while not blocking other items of the same model type being looted. I hope that made sense. But yeah, it was very interesting to figure that out. So I think it's great to know that possibility. Right, what we do now is we test this out. So we crunch it. Johnny, are you still active in ArmA? I thought you were. Okay, so you don't know how to configure that stuff. Okay. It always looks in your scripts you make. It always looks like you use super custom animations and stuff. But that's good. What are you working on at the moment? Do you still do ArmA stuff? I'm really bad with following the forums at the moment. Right, thank you, Valmont. I just see that you've posted the... Okay. Job 3, okay. When action starts, okay. Job terminate. Okay. Oh, so you're using time. Okay. Private sounds. Alright, thank you, Valmont. Now my brain hurts. There's like sometimes in coding or ArmA, there's some logics that I don't know. You just need to practice it until you figure it out. I'm getting headaches when I read your code. I know it's probably not too crazy, but I think I need to wrap my head around time and stuff. I don't really work with that usually. But thank you. I'll dig into it. Maybe it's the better solution than one I have. By the way, you need to delete the temp folder before you crunch. Sometimes it crunches the previous version. Keep on deleting the map. Oh, okay, I forgot. I never did that. I should do that. Thanks. So, okay. Let's actually do that, just to make sure. So you're saying that... BBO... Temp files, okay. Oh, I remember you told me that in the beginning. You're right. My next mission, an interactive marketplace where provider AI have shops, sell stuff, medic to heal, user outhouse, etc. And consumer AI randomly goes to each shop and interacts. So it will be a... Oh, nice. So you're creating a trader system, and it also has like ambient AI. Yeah, that's actually interesting. Can you tell me a bit about the trader system? Like, how will the interaction be? Is it like a hold action, or is it a UI and currency and so on? Because I need to do something with... What's going on here? It's taking a while. In the future I need to completely redo a trader system, and my main issue is always the UI. So I think I could write the code for trade system, but it will be add action based, and I'm just wondering how you will do it. If I understand it right, that's what you're doing. And I mean, it would be a really cool thing to have like some ambient interaction ongoing. Yeah. Fuck. Current EA traders just shoot each other. Fuckers can't split the revenue. I mean, it's hard times, you know, with the whole apocalypse. Yeah, great. Thank you for telling me to delete the temp files now. Everything breaks. You're the worst. Taking advice. Worst thing you could do. Damn. Oh, okay, so this is a simulation, okay. Still might be interesting. It would make it would be cool to have like trader areas that feel alive, yeah. Are the AI agents, like, do you think it's something that could be implemented into a large scale multiplayer script pile? I'm just thinking I need to, if I add ambient stuff, I need to make sure it's easy on performance. Just generally, like what if because I understand you do mostly single player and I think you also do multiplayer missions, right? But more like co-op probably. What's going on? Right, I was sweating there for a second. Vandeanson, when you have a time, please share your line intersect with code here. I can try that instead of cursor object that I use for my V menu. Yeah, sure. What do you want to achieve? What do you need? Can you quickly explain to me what you want to do with the code so I can send you the appropriate stuff? Let's check out that playlist that the dude just sent me. How do I open that? Ugh. Inns and taverns. Nice. Thank you, dude. Inns and Taverns by Celestial Aeon Projects. Cool. Hit it. Right, where was I? Starting the game. Not really a trader system, a simulation. Booze shop, shopper walks up and says whiskey using in-game sound. Seller say 5 using in-game sound. Shopper puts down 5 shells. Sound fix. Seller has cup. Shopper puts down 5 shells with sound fix. Seller hands cup to buyer using animation. Buyer drinks with animation. Cool. Nice. You work a lot, like you squeeze everything out of the assets that exist, right? I mean, I noticed that a lot of stuff you use can be used as a script without add-ons. So you're really using everything that the game has to create your custom stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be cool. I think it would be as something in between using agents, and I would probably also hide and unhide the site. Yeah, I mean that's what I noticed as well. Like the stuff Johnny does looks all very immersive. Johnny, I had a huge, I still have actually a huge list of stuff that I could potentially take from your scripts. Never got to it though, but it's you, George Floros, and now also Valmont. That like free sources for me to include stuff. Has so much to do. Yeah, that's cool because it's so flexible then in the end. I'm also doing everything based on vanilla, except when I do not. But then I make it optional. So the system would detect, okay, the mod is not loaded, so I cannot use, or I can only use ArmA stuff. What am I doing? Yeah, I remember we had a conversation about it, and you kindly offered your stuff, which is great. I think really the only issue, I mean, you now, Valmont has sent me a lot of stuff, and George Flores also offered a lot of his stuff. The only issue is time, so. And for now, I still have so much stuff so much own stuff I want to do. Yeah, Valmont. Johnny is for scripts, but EO is for textures and skies. That's true. That's true. So yeah, but I have a library somewhere of your stuff, all of you guys actually, and it will be used the moment I get to it. Shite. So far the sound is really nice, the music's really nice, dude. Good choice, good taste, good man. Time is limited indeed. Yeah, I was saying like it's Valmont here, it's Johnny Boy here, it's Jenorutsky, aka the dude here. EO was here, starting off the stream. It's pretty awesome. After the whole, let's call it new generation BI forum fame here. The guys that came after Grumpy Old Man and KK and Pure MGI. We grew up in their shadows. Is that cringy? That's a little cringy. Alright, I stop now. But it's great, it's cool. It's cool to have that sort of community. What am I doing? Crunching. Yeah. You can also I'm not sure if you're using Discord, but make sure to hop on Discord and you can post it in the VA project if you want to. I think people there would like to see it as well. I'm not sure if you. I'll send you a link. If you want to, I'm not sure if you want to use Discord, but it would be a easy way to share ideas. Damn, I just forgot to delete the temp files. Screw it. I mean, that man is a character for himself. Johnny, we can also make a private coder channel where you, Valmont, EO, the dudes can join. So you don't need to publish anything you don't want, but we can still share. Up to you. I mean, you know, you can also PM me wherever you want. Need to create a new channel for all the coders so we can share stuff. Yeah, that man is a character. I mean, I learned a shit ton from him when I had once a post where I asked for optimization. Yeah, sure, Johnny, no worries. I understand. Don't worry about it. He helped a lot, but he just has this tone that's like, right, man, relax. It's just a game. Yeah, it's okay, Sasa. Just enjoy. I just as a maybe side note, we're basically we all have been active on the ArmA free BI forums with either, you know, doing scripts, working on custom maps, retexting, just like stuff like that. And it's funny that like most of those people are now in the stream. That's kind of cool. There will be a lot of work for you, Sasa, once we release a playable alpha build, so you'll have to do a lot of testing for us. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know he's like a bit of a rough guy. But he provides. So I mean, I've learned a lot from his posts. Are those generated camps on the rooftops or placed in editor? That was just me. I placed some ambient stuff, and 5 minutes before the stream started, I placed my character there in camera mode, just to set the mood. Right now, actually, the only thing that's spawned in as side are the heli crashes. They're fairly simple. Are those generated camps? Oh, sorry, maybe I was wrong. So when I just started the game, when I was in the editor, you mean? There's like a... This here I just placed. And the rest is just an unaltered version of Generous Redux. This I just placed for, I don't know, to make a cool first impression when the stream starts. Right, Johnny, now we're talking. Are you planning an X-Wing animation for chopping? And what about some wood chips fix sound effects. Sorry, it's a bit out of my knowledge, but if we could have it, yes. So it's just limited by my very limited knowledge about animations. So we would have to. Currently, my axe is just a inventory item, so there would be. I need to. Can I talk? I would have to create an item that I can put in my hand and swing it. So I don't know, guess an animation or so. That would be one thing, and wood chip effects would be cool, but I have also no idea how to do that stuff. I know that. I think that's your strong side, right? So yeah, it would be cool to have animations, more animations, but that's just where my knowledge ends. I have previously used max melee weapon mods that has animations, and I've tried to include that, but I'm currently doing everything without any dependencies, so if I add stuff I would add it into VA. So I just created a axe item, and as long as I have that in my inventory I can use the axe. Now what is missing here is the cam shake. That got deleted somehow. And then in third person it kinda starts in first person it kinda starts to look alright. If you have a cam shake, you have the sounds. Obviously it's still ridiculous in third person, and if someone's looking at you in multiplayer. Take a look at my point blank AI script video, the animations are there. Wood chip visual fix I can dig up for you. Nice. Yes, please. Okay, the point blank AI script. Yeah, I know which one. Cool. Is it so? Okay. And do you... Wait, let's look at that. Point blank. Johnny boy point blank. ArmA free. Yeah, I remember that one. Actually, this point blank script is also in my list. I really liked it. I was just not sure how I could use it in multiplayer. But that was on the list of things I wanted to look at. And then yeah, camshake was actually, I need to just re-add that. In the point blank AI video script, I attach primary weapon to hand and randomly choose a free arm swing. Okay, I need to check that code, because then the next challenge would just be to... Can you attach... You said you attach the primary weapon to the hand. Would that also work with an object? Like if I just take the X object, could I attach that to the hand? Or does it need to be a weapon? And follow-up question, do you know how to make like exile-like tools that you can put onto your launcher slot? Like an axe or a shovel and so on? Which that would be cool. Let me see if I can redo the cam shake. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. So yes, attach X to hand. Okay, cool. In fact, that is in my list last time go. Yeah, right. Where you had and you also had this. I think with a machete or a sword or something, where you cut down the bushes. Okay, so the code is there. That's cool. So I'll use that to extract it and put the eggs into the hands. Yeah, I remember now. Cool. Only scripted attachment of objects to hand and play a arm swing animation. Throw grenade front right. Fair enough. Only scripted attachment. Okay, so all doable within code. Cool. I'll check it out. And then we have the permission from Desolation Redux mod guys to use the rainwater collector mod. Dude, nice. Can you show a picture in Discord? Well, that sounds great. Do you know those guys from Desolation Redux? Yeah, exactly. The cane fields. Yeah. Ah, cool. So I will find that in the scripts then, in those two missions. Last Tango and oh shit, what's it called? Point Blank. Perfect. Right, Campshake. We wanted to add Campshake. You can actually use it from the gutting. At Campshake. Don't remember the parameters. Should just be one shake. Oh, that's the refresh rate. Oh man, if you could send me the links, that would be great. I somewhere I have your mod list saved, but that would help. That would actually help. That would be cool if you could send me the links. Now I need to Google the Campshake because I don't really remember the params. Power, duration, frequency. Okay. Power. Power, duration, frequency. Okay. 21. Yeah, that's why I'm very annoyed by it. I think I've overwritten it. But since we have, how would I actually now? Let me see. I'm going into GitHub. actually never tried to recover something. Okay, well, it's pretty easy. Alright, let's see. Vehicle. Just going through GitHub to see where I last changed that file. Yeah, I see. I'm currently looking at GitHub. Got a wood here. I'm pretty sure I only recently changed it. Get a wood. Camshake, alright, got it. Where are we? Yeah, it's alright. Camshake. Let's check out some of the other albums of this Celestial Eon project. The Last of Us 2, Somber Vibes, yeah, that might be cool. I need tavern music. Getting tired. Right, okay. Sorry dude, but that music sticks. Temp files, okay. Crunch. Fix chopping sounds. The sounds seem to be fixed. Camshake wasn't an issue before that change. Oh god, what a source interaction. Oh wow, guys. Can I show that? This is the water gather model that we can use. That's awesome, dude. Great job. Very nice. Very cool. This will be a super rare crafting recipe. Nice. Can you guys hear that? That's so nice. Right, this is my new song now. Sorry guys, I want to listen to that to the end. Awesome. That was awesome. Alright, that's really cool. I have totally saved that song now for the next stream. Good stuff. You need to implement truck for zombie passing bang this song. Yeah, headbanging zombies in the truck. Yeah, just a random spawn where an open truck full of headbanging zombies with that music passes by. Yeah, I'm in for that. Top priority now, next feature. I always thought it would be fun to add some hidden stuff that mission makers do not know. And that scares the crap out of them. Dude, I think we need to think about that. We just should actually have a script for random party. I have a script for random party bus, alright. That's the next feature. Dude, I think we need to think about these things like, you know, adding small things that are not shown somewhere in the settings or so that take the users aback. Think about it. We'll think about that. What was that? Alright, that was weird. Something is still weird. I think the sound is to my right now. Yes, some sort of Easter egg, but also like events that like either are scary or whatever. Not sure. Oh, and we need a new sound for apple gathering, something bushy, appley, treey. No apples here, shame. Yep. In the old version of VA, where code is much heavier, if you really spawn a lot of VA stuff, the ravage hold actions would become really slow. Yep. Absolutely. No shit, I didn't know, so I already have plant harvest sounds. Thank you. Oh, I'm so useless. If your schedule is overloaded, your FPS are low, then your hold actions will behave erratic. Yeah, absolutely. And a big focus, on the version 3 overhaul is performance-friendly scripts. So we have tried to reduce loops and stuff to the minimum. The problem is, I believe in most situations, also if you do not use hold actions, also button pressing or whatever, or just add actions when your scheduler is full, then you have a problem. So the main goal should be to not let your scheduler get full, right? I'm not sure how you approach that, but in my VA world, where I have a lot of stuff going on and a lot is looped and waiting for reset and so on, this is an important part, yeah. Code optimization. And obviously using event handlers as often as possible. Is the do you know, is the plant harvest sound already defined in the config, or do I need to do that yet? I can actually just try. What? Harvest plant, okay. Harvest plant. Okay, it's not defined yet. Can you post your loop that or your F key pressing version? I know, I believe you have told me once that you use the display event handler, but I never got that to work persistently in single player, multiplayer and dedicated and after restart, so. Actually replaced all loops with event handlers, and also player keys like F I use for my menu, so it only checks for objects in front of the player if they press. Yeah, I'll be interested how you implement that key press solution, if you could post that somewhere, because I had issue with that and we have a solution now, but I would be interested to see how you do it. Is it the one we... wait. Where? Did you? Can you post again? I'm not sure I've seen it. I'll check again. You need to edit. Okay, okay. Oh, I have to do everything myself. The living, repack, skinning. Oh, that's great that we have that sound. I didn't notice. Awesome. Harvest plant underline 1. 1 to 4. That's great. Right. Good. So that's in. Oh, okay, it's in the demo mission. Perfect. Yeah, I was actually thinking like yesterday or today that I want to check in your demo mission how I did that. So ignore my question. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you posted your cursor object thing. Okay, cursor object. Okay, I'll have to look into that, but I think I can help you with that, at least with the detection of the vehicle, rather than the cursor object. Right. Went off topic again. Okay, the X broke. I think in this case the tree got fallen, but because the X broke same time, I did not get any wood. There, I don't see the issue where the firewood explosion doesn't seem to happen anymore. I'm still not 100% sure that the sound behaves properly all the time. But now it seems good. So the dude, your task will be to try and break the chopping the chopping script again. Usually finds. If there's an issue, you will find it. But it seems to be alright so far. Distance is a bit short, I guess. Oh, interesting. I think I cannot chop this one because I've already looted it. It's apples, so it's ignored. Not sure if you noticed, but for everything that's picked up or dropped or so, we added small bag or grab or put into bag sounds. Okay, that's interesting. So trees, apple trees, where I have gathered apples from are also locked. Okay, that makes sense. I can no longer fell this. So now I can fell the tree if I... Oh, that's a bit annoying. If I gather... Yeah, I can no longer. Okay, that makes sense, but that's not intended. Good to know. The combination of using the gear animation and hold action on a smaller object is very annoying. The dude may ask, is your mapping team only working on generous Redux or do you plan on updating some other maps too? Only CHR, okay. So, you guys are lazy. Do all the maps. Jesus Christ. Is there a percentage? I might have heard it sometime. Dude, is there a percentage? As in how many places have been reduced? As in where you have added your post-apocalyptic vibes? Because I know some areas have not been touched yet, right? And some have. Well, a lot have. Right, okay. So far I'm happy with the chopping sound and the wood chopping. Just want to replace the harvest plant one. 2, 3, 4. Press the optimize button, yeah. Well, it's actually 2 buttons now. He has to press 2 buttons. He has to open the maps. He has to press the reducing, whatever you spell it, button, and then the optimization button. And then the next button, and I will press that one, is the let's create a apocalyptic dynamic world around it. Easy, easy, only 3 buttons. Right? Am I right? Okay. What else? Water source, right, let's try to fix that now. So we had a problem with the water source. Wait. Let's find a well. We had a problem with with our hold action system when we looked at a water well. It was possible that the hold action got duped because of a resetting issue. You guys see a well? Where's a well? I need a well. Here's a well. Easy peasy better than inconvenience, yeah. Push 3 buttons for the ultimate survival game. Oh, here we go. You could easy on the hold action continue condition, so you don't have to be looking exactly at the object. I could go easy, as in I could delay the updater a little bit. How often it checks if I'm still looking at the object. That could be a thing. The problem is that that might be prone to duping and glitching. Nice. Great. The dude is adding the collector. Awesome. Oh damn, so you have to integrate the whole model, right? Oh, that's heavy stuff. Just add a distance condition to the hold action. Yeah, the distance is not the problem. The problem is the... Remember, we're working with surf line... what's it called? We're working with the line intersect with, and that only reacts if I'm looking at the model. What's that? Drink water. Right, that's weird. You could easy the hold action continue conditions, so you don't have to be looking exactly at the object. Just add a distance condition once the hold action is started. I misread. How would you easy the condition to continue if you... Because you cannot, you could delay the reaction when you're no longer looking at it, that's a thing. It's something I can think about if it really gets an issue. I think it would be quite complicated to do that because it might conflict with some other resetting conditions. So what do we have here? Cursor object. Why do you fucking do that? Stupid thing. So okay, that's a how. What are the hold action condition progress? So the thing is, I have a different thing. I actually only have it on true. So my hold actions just have the, see, they only have the condition true, because I wrote the known. Wait, I can show you with the scavenging, because the conditions under which I want the hold actions to show and not to show got a little bit complex, and I couldn't fit that into the format that is required within the hold action conditions. I wrote own condition checks. So this is the condition checks that tells me like, alright, what am I looking at? What are my conditions? Am I in a vehicle? Do I have carry a weapon? If all that's okay, and if I'm looking at an object that is within range and that is within a lootable, no, take that back. If I have no weapon, if I'm not in a vehicle, and if I'm looking at an object that is close, then it will check what object it is, that this is this part, and then it will go through a couple of checks. It will see if the model, the object I'm looking at, is in a certain category, and if it hits, then it will spawn a hold action. Then it goes into a wait. It will now wait until I'm no longer looking at that object, or the object is looted, or the hold action is completed. And then it will reset all the hold actions that have been generated in that process. This is allowing me to have rather complex things considered, such as the whole line intersect thing, because the whole code about the line intersect I couldn't bring into the format that a hold action condition requires. So if I would want to ease the reset of the hold action, so it's basically simulating the continue progress condition. If the conditions are no longer met that I want this hold action to be shown, it gets deleted. And if the conditions are met again, then a new hold action for that gets generated. If you have problems with wait untils, let me know, because I really got to use them a lot, and they're actually, I found them super helpful. So I'm not sure if you hate them because they're loops and they're not event handlers and so, or if you're just not comfortable with how to abuse them to your needs. I'm happy to help you if you want. For most parts I think it could be removed, yeah, or moved into the hold action itself. But the thing is, I'm doing that simultaneously for various hold actions, and it needs to be a overarching action, so when one is reset, everything is reset. So I'm keeping it central, the whole deletion of the hold action. But it could be inside, yeah, it could be inside. There is, I actually spent a lot of time with it recently. There is some negative points or some issues. Yo, Sasa, good night. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. Absolutely. It's something you should try to avoid. The loops and need manual exit, yeah. You need to make sure you only let them run as long as it's needed, so you always need an exit. Right, let's get back to the drinking. Ah no, we're looking at the fill check, not the drink. I'm so stupid. I mean, as Valmont says, as long as you exit them, sure, it's not a problem. Just don't let them run forever, if not needed. CBA's wait until and execute is better. I think that's also something the dude and I had briefly touched. I am aware that there's probably a lot of good solutions from CBA, and I'm usually just using vanilla functions or own functions, and I'm pretty sure I could gain a lot from using CBA stuff. I mean, I'm using the settings and stuff for VA settings. But on multiple occasions we actually have thought that I should probably get into the CBA functions a little bit more. I'm just cautious, so I try to keep it vanilla as possible, because if CBA has an update that I don't like or that messes my stuff up, then my mod is screwed up. So I'll try to keep it vanilla as possible. But yeah, I mean, there might be a lot of good solutions out there. VD, I PM'd you code snippets from swing animations and attach X to hand. Hey, thanks man, that's awesome. PM on Discord or on BI forum? BI forum, I assume, right? Let me check. Oh yeah, I got it. Great. Perfect. Thank you very much, man. I got it in front of me. I'll use as much as possible from that that I can. That's great. And yeah, I mean, and no rush with the wood chipping visuals. I mean, just whenever you get to it, do it. I will use it if you send it this week, or if you send it in 2 months. I mean, no worries. These things have time, you know. They're cool if we can add them, but the important is that the core system stands, and these visual stuff we can also add whenever they're ready. But it will be appreciated. I mean, looking forward to it. I used to love CBA until just last week I discovered a huge bug inside their patrol function that would totally overload the schedule in half an hour. Now you have trust issues. You've been burned. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, I think I also just enjoy doing stuff myself to a certain extent. And I don't know. I should probably look into CBA stuff, but then again, it's less dependency. Cheers, Johnny. Thanks. Right. Burned, yeah. I think we can just reproduce the scavenging fix onto the drink filler. Right. But here we need to do something else. So we're setting a variable that is set to true if one of the hold actions is active. While the hold action is active, the hold action can, while the variable is active or is set to true, the hold action cannot be activated twice. And we need to do that fill water bottle. We need to do that for each action because in this case each one can be active same time. In that case you look at the well, you have an empty water bottle, empty canteen and an empty water canister. You should be able to select each of them. Yeah, we had sleep 0.3 in there, and like here, but we actually removed it because it would lag. It would negatively perform the action. So I'm usually putting in sleeps until wait untils, especially where instant reaction is not important. But for these here, I have none in there most times, and in some I still have sleep 0.1. We're still checking that to see. I'll try to push in as much delay as possible without the player noticing it too much. Under circumstances that the best possible performance is there. Let's say nothing else is going on, and so on. Yeah, I would even experiment and give all your wait until sleep 1, and if gameplay is not affected, you will greatly reduce. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely share the thinking, and I enter sleeps as much as possible where I don't need to wait until to be updated every frame. Absolutely agree. In this case here, we try to push it as much as possible without the player standing in front of an object and waiting for the hold action to pop up. So we have fill water bottle, we have fill canteen, we have fill water canister, and we have fill drink water. Now we set this variable to true if a hold action gets triggered. This code here will trigger the hold action, so we can just put it in here. We don't need to put the variable in the actual hold action. This is how you continuously rework your scripts, because you do something, you consider it fine, then you do the next feature that's similar, you use similar scripts and ways to approach things, and the second iteration will be better, so you have to go back and redo your old stuff again. But I guess as long as stuff is getting better, that's fine. We drink here, we put it right into the drink hold action. Now I need to be careful because I need to make sure right now I need to make sure that I properly reset that again. Else after one iteration stuff gets blocked. I hope my brabbling makes sense. Now in the first go I'll try to just, this here is the wait until that checks for possible resets. Okay, yeah, we can just have it here. Here it can be reset. Let's test it, and if it works, we have earned a pillow. We can go to bed. Johnny boy, what's your time zone? I'm on Central European time. Belmont is in... Wait, what did you say? You're like 4 hours behind? And the dude I think is 1 hour advance or behind. 1 hour difference. Oh, okay, so Johnny says that play action now should be remote executed for multiplayer. Okay, that's good to know. And resetting the player is player play action relax. Okay, good to know. Alright, okay. I'm on Swiss time. Oh, but I'm home office and on a longer weekend, so who cares about time? The good thing about having a kid is that you can get nap time over lunch. And no one will blame you for it. Today I slept, I think, for 2 hours straight after lunch. It was awesome. Dude, how are you progressing with the model integration? The water collector? Right, we need a well. Well, we need a well. Nice. You crunched it and checked. Yeah, I saw it that you entered started ArmA, so I figured, yep, that's the testing phase now. Nice. This is the code Johnny just sent me to put an axe in my hand. Awesome. Here's 3 animations you could potentially use for X-Wing. Play around with that X-Wing. Well, true. We could make that the tree chopping is only activated if you double click the inventory item X, then, or X, whatever, the X gets put into your hand, and during that time you're able to chop down trees. That'd be an idea. See, it's these small little progress steps that are really cool. Do while blah blah blah, do blah blah blah, sleep. Nice. Okay. Oh, it's easy. So you just need to make sure that whenever a gun is in the hand, then that this gets interrupted. Well, that's cool. Thanks, Johnny. That's great. Oh, nice. Yeah, Franks is awesome. I'm using his IED scripts. Really cool stuff. I'm not sure if the guy's still active, but I've read a lot about his posts, and he's doing great stuff as well. Cool, 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 cool. It's not really a weapon in the hand, no. It works with attached to. I mean, Johnny can explain better, but the code looks like. I mean, if you think about how, and don't understand me wrong, simple the code is, it's great. I mean, it's you don't need any add-ons, you don't need to adjust the config, you can just get the code right, and if you know where to put stuff, there we go. This is awesome. I love it when you can, this is why I love when you can get such things achieved with just using vanilla and scripts. So awesome. So the dude, I'm not sure if you can see it, but basically you can use any object. So we can use the shovels, we can use the axe, anything, sandbags. I think this is quite a game changer. How for some things. I'm thinking like it's gonna be some cool stuff we can do with that. I might actually remove the wood chopping from the scavenging loop and just have it activated when you click on the axe, and reset it under certain circumstances. Awesome guys, really cool, really cool. Takes more scripting to cause damage to others. Sage of Franks melee skip. I don't think there's a knife, Valmont. I've searched it, I don't think there's a knife. Ravage has a knife and I have a knife that I found in some files that were... But I do not have... I cannot... Wait. I can show you. Wait. We have a model for the knife. Yeah, dude, I guess I agree. I guess that's a tricky part to find the attachment points, where to attach it so it looks good. I don't think there's a knife item. I have a custom one. No vanilla knife exists, yeah. Screwdrivers exist. Hammers exist. One of my market interactions is a guy who walks into goat pen and clubs a goat with a big hammer, then carries it to barbecue and puts it on fire. Sweet. Nice. Alright, so you need to get different attachment points depending on the object size. Okay, but that's something we can play around. I mean, the code you sent here is super. This is great. Set deer. I mean, maybe you could even put it into a loop and adjust the vector up and down and stuff like that to make the X move naturally. Yeah, I like the screwdriver script you wrote with the shooting. I actually looked into the code there, I believe, because I think it was really awesome. So I wanted to see how you did it. Great job there. No, why? Oh, what's wrong with that? Why does this pop up? Drink water. No, why? Why? Why does that happen? Okay, that didn't work. Oh, it just multiplies over time. I think the wait until is bad. wait, no, that can't be. Yeah. Arnie got strong in me. Okay, wait, that sounds weird. I shouldn't say that. But yeah. What the actual fuck? Remove action. Mm-hmm. I might change the system. I usually I do the scavenging where you interact with a world object without using a base object to as a source or whatever. I use this hold action updater, but with the drinking and the well updating or the well refilling, the refilling of containers at the well, I always have a container. So instead of this method, I could just use the double click on item method to spawn a hold action. Yeah, I key activation was a thing before we did this here. Actually, with the new key system, it would be an option, but we wanted that the player can see, especially for looting, what he interacts with, and so it pops up in front of him if he looks at something. And for the other things, we just use double clicking on the item because it makes sense, right? If you want to use an object, you just click on it in your inventory. I do believe using the F key could fix our problems. Yeah, it would. This problem we're currently looking at is only caused by the loop. No, it's a little different actually. But I could rewrite. I think I need to rewrite that water refiller. I don't think I do it in a smart way at the moment. And then add the correct one space to fill in. There's looting and burning in the US. Damn, why do I live in Switzerland? I didn't know about that. Need to read the news on that. Crazy man, stay safe. I didn't know about that looting. To read the news. Right. Thank you, Johnny, for joining and for your help. I'll be using your scripts, and hope to see you around, man. America. And sure, glad you enjoyed the stream. Fuck yeah, America. Fuck yeah. Those are the songs that I need to be quicker with. Right, I'm thinking, so I think I'll do it differently. I mean the keybind would be one solution, but I think it's more more logic for the player if we just basically can click his item, and I can leave a tooltip on the item saying double click to drink. So what I'll do is I'll change this loop that it will only check for wells to drink directly from, so it will just be one hold action and it will permanently up. No, wait. Yep, we do it this way. There'll be one hold action, which will make things a little easier to control, and the other drinking, the refilling will be done via double clicking on the empty bottles. Ooh, chipping, fuck yeah. Water source interaction, fuck yeah. Nice one. Well applied onto the current topic. Nice, man. I love South Park, by the way. These guys are crazy. Creators. Yeah, why not simplify it to a hold action when looking at water source? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Wait, what? So we have a hold action. No, we have a simple scav interaction. So we have the fill check, which is basically looking for water sources, and I'm dumbing it down so that it will only check for water sources for the drinking hold action. Oh, what do you mean? I'm not sure if I understand your proposal. Why not simplify it to hold action when looking at water source? Currently, that's the case. Like, different hold actions are shown if you look at the water source, and the hold actions that are shown are if you have a water bottle, it shows the water bottle fill hold action. Yeah, that's the case. You're looking at water source, that's happening, yeah. And the hold action appears, but it also will show. Yeah, that's the case right now. Holding it fills empty containers. And it does that check for 4 different types for the water bottle, for the container, and for the canteen, and each one spawns a known hold action actually. Scav interaction. The problem at the moment is the hold action spawner, not the hold action itself, the whole reset of it, and I think I'll simplify things. That's in. If you want to empty it or drink it, double click it first. At the moment you double click onto the water bottle and you get the option to either empty it or drink it. The fill container should be simpler. What part would be you can use? I need to check the V menu. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it does yet. But I prefer to either have the action automated via some of the checks I'm doing here, similar to scavenging, or I want it to be something that people have to double click on the bottle. No, fill container have no double click right at the moment. At the moment, there is a hold action popping up if the right conditions are met, and then you get the hold action to fill containers. The conditions are that you have an empty container in your inventory and that you're looking at the water source. I'm actually wondering why I am unable to. Scavenging had the same issue and I was able to fix it there. I'm not sure why it doesn't work here. It's a bit weird. Double click is the double click thing. The problem is it has a loop. Actually, there's one loop that checks for double clicks, but at least it's just one loop. I'll just try something. Oh wait, it's wrong. Yeah, man, that's exactly the point. If it works the same as scavenging, it has a slight difference, but I'm actually wondering the same at the moment why my fix doesn't work for drinking. Just noticed something though. Yeah, it should be exactly the same. I just noticed something, so maybe I did something wrong. But the other thing is because in the difference between scavenging and refilling water containers is that we have water containers, where in scavenging we don't have a required. So we take our bottle to the well, so we could actually just double click the bottle to fill it at the well. And if we double click and there's no well, then there is no add action. Yeah, I need to think about that, but I might be reworking that. Let's first try to fix that again. Now the thing is more like water containers have amounts, yeah. So if you interrupt the filling, it will only be half full. You can't yet. Valmont, it's not public yet. Currently, it's being updated so quickly that it doesn't make sense to publish it yet. But it will be something that we will do sometime in the future. Alright, you know what? I think it's better to call it for the day before I screw stuff up. And then I'll do a fresh rethink of the whole refresh container filling. Because I think currently I like the other solution better, where you double click on the item that you want to refill. It's still a hold action. It would just be triggered differently, and I think in a way that makes more sense. For scavenging, basically the trigger is what I'm looking at, and for the refilling. Yeah, for the refilling it would be the item that I interact with. So I'm trying to refill the bottle when I look at the well, and that should trigger it. I think I'll do it this way. There's also less loops then. However, that's something for future sessions. I'm tired, and I need some.
Your eyes are shining, you are the real man. Wash away your tears, we won't
Alright guys, that was it for today. Good night, sleep tight, take a bath in vodka, everything will be good. Cheers.